In today's video, we will explore profound stories and lessons that provide us with timeless insights, reminding us of our hidden strength, resilience, and potential. These are not just words, they are pathways that can change the way we perceive life and ignite our inspiration for growth. 1. The more skilled someone is, the more humble they become. It's those who know little who boast. Story. In a small village, there was a revered monk known for his wisdom and humility. People respected him not only for his profound knowledge, but for his simple and modest way of life. One day, the young man came to learn from him and noticed that despite his vast knowledge, the monk remained humble and respectful to everyone around him, whether they were ordinary people or scholars. Curious, the young man asked, "Master, why does someone as knowledgeable as you never show superiority?" The monk smiled and replied, "The more one learns, the more they realize how much they don't know. Humility is a sign of true understanding and respect for knowledge." Lesson. Humility is the mark of a truly knowledgeable person, while arrogance often stems from lack. Living humbly not only helps us grow, but also earns us respect from others. 2. If you want to receive, first learn to give. Story. Long ago, there was a poor farmer who dreamed of obtaining quality seeds to improve his crops and change his life. One day, he went to the king seeking help. The king said, "If you want good seeds, first learn to give." The farmer returned home and began sharing whatever little he had with his neighbors, some food, a warm coat, and genuine kindness. The villagers were moved and began helping him in return. Eventually, a wealthy man gifted him the quality seeds he had long desired. From then on, the farmer not only had successful crops, but was also loved by the entire village. Lesson. Giving is a path to receiving. When we share and care for others, we gain their love and support, which forms the foundation of a happy and successful life. 3. A strong person isn't one who never falls, but one who knows how to stand up after every fall. Story. During a challenging mountain climbing competition, one contestant fell 3 times, each fall causing pain and discouragement. Yet instead of giving up, he patiently got back up, became more careful, and continued forward. Near the summit, while others had either grown exhausted or quit, he persevered and became the only one to reach the top. When asked why he didn't give up, he replied, "Each fall taught me how to stand up stronger. Every failure wasn't an end, but a lesson that brought me closer to my goal." Lesson. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we endure painful setbacks. But if we can stand up again and learn from each failure, we will become stronger and go farther. 4. Failure isn't a loss, but a lesson that helps us grow. Story. A student who longed for academic success repeatedly failed important exams. Instead of giving up, he decided to face his failures, asking himself why he failed and finding ways to improve each small weakness. He eventually realized that these failures taught him persistence and how to appreciate every small improvement. Years later, he was accepted into his dream university, fully understanding that his failures had taught him resilience. Lesson. Failure isn't an end, but a stepping stone to progress. Instead of fearing failure, see it as a part of the learning and growth journey. 5. Happiness is not at the destination, but in the journey we take. Story. A wealthy merchant spent a great deal of money searching for happiness. He traveled to many countries, met various people, but still didn't find satisfaction. Finally, a monk told him, "Happiness isn't at the destination, but in every moment of life." Following the monk's advice, the merchant began to pay attention to small moments, like the smiles of loved ones and the warmth of sunlight. He gradually realized that true happiness lies in living fully in each moment. Lesson: happiness isn't something that comes when we achieve a certain goal. It's found in the joy of the journey and in embracing each day fully. Point 6. Instead of trying to change the world, start by changing yourself. Story: a young prince with high ideals wanted to transform his kingdom. He traveled everywhere, trying to improve the lives of his people, but his efforts yielded little success. A wise man advised him, "If you want to change the world, start by changing yourself first." The prince then began by changing his own lifestyle, living close to the people and showing genuine care. Over time, his way of living inspired others, and the kingdom gradually became more prosperous and peaceful. Lesson: to create big change, start with yourself. When you improve yourself, you naturally have a positive influence on everything around you. 7. Time that has passed cannot be regained, but the lessons from it are priceless. Story: an old man told his grandson that when he was young, he wasted a lot of time on meaningless pursuits and regretted it when time slipped away, never to return. However, he also realized that those mistakes taught him to value time and live with purpose as he grew older. Lesson: time is a precious asset that cannot be regained. Live and learn from the past so that each day is meaningful and free of regret. 8. The more you face hardships, the more you understand yourself. Story: a young man lost his job, and his life became more difficult than ever. Instead of avoiding the challenge, he decided to face it, reflect on his life, and discovered hidden strengths. He realized he was more resilient and capable than he thought. Lesson: facing hardship helps us discover our strength and abilities and leads to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Number 9. An intelligent person isn't one who knows everything, but one who knows how to learn from others. Story: a renowned scholar traveled everywhere to learn from ordinary people and sages alike. When asked why he did this, he replied, "Everyone has unique knowledge and experience that I don't know. An intelligent person is one who learns from everyone around them." Lesson: intelligence isn't knowing everything, it's the openness to learn from others. 10. True strength isn't in physical power, but in the ability to control one's emotions. Story: a martial artist never displayed anger, even when provoked. In a match, his opponent tried to provoke him, but he remained calm and ultimately won. When asked about his secret, he replied, "Controlling emotions is true strength. When the soul is steady, no one can unsettle me." Lesson: true strength lies in emotional control. Those who manage their emotions maintain peace and clarity in any situation. 11. Don't wait for perfection to start. Begin so you can gradually become perfect. Story: a young man dreamed of becoming a famous artist. He spent years preparing, studying, and researching, but never started painting because he felt he wasn't good enough and wanted everything to be perfect. One day, he met an older artist who had been painting for decades. The artist told him, "If you keep waiting for perfection, you'll remain where you are. Start with your first strokes, and you'll improve with each work." The young man began painting without fear of mistakes. Over time, his skills noticeably improved, and he ultimately fulfilled his dream. Lesson: nothing is perfect at the start. Begin with what you have and let each effort bring you closer to perfection. 12. Embracing change can bring you new and better things. Story: a builder in a small village had been in the same job since he was young, but one day his workplace closed down due to company downsizing. Initially, he was anxious and unsure of what to do. Eventually, he decided to learn new skills and tried his hand at wood carving. Over time, he became highly skilled and well-known, opening a new chapter in his life. Embracing change allowed him to find joy and new meaning. Lesson: life is always changing, and only by accepting change can we welcome new and better opportunities. Don't fear change. Sometimes it is the doorway to success and happiness. 13. A happy person isn't someone who has more, but someone who needs less. Story: a wealthy businessman constantly sought happiness through luxury items and vast wealth, yet he still felt something was missing. One day, he visited a poor village and met a farmer who lived simply but was incredibly happy. The businessman asked him for his secret, and the farmer replied, "Happiness isn't about having more, it's about being content with what you have." Reflecting on this, the businessman realized that his endless desire and pursuit were what kept him from happiness. Lesson: contentment with what you have is the key to happiness. Appreciate the present, as happiness isn't found in things you don't have, but in how you perceive life. 14. The greatest failure is giving up when there's still a chance to try. Story: a young woman dreamed of becoming a writer, but her first work was rejected by many publishers. Discouraged, she thought about abandoning her dream. But a friend encouraged her, saying, "The greatest failure isn't rejection, but giving up. If you truly want to succeed, keep trying." Taking the advice, she revised her work and continued to improve it. Eventually, her book was published, became well-known, and was warmly received by readers. Lesson: success doesn't come immediately. Sometimes we face many obstacles, but only by not giving up do we have the chance to make our dreams come true. 15. Sometimes letting go is necessary to move forward. Story: a mountain climber passionate about exploration once found himself in a tough situation while scaling a cliff. He carried too much gear and realized that the weight was holding him back. In the end, he had to let go of the unnecessary items to continue his journey more freely. Thanks to this decision, he was able to push on and reach the peak he had always dreamed of. Lesson: in life, sometimes we have to let go of what's unnecessary. When we release the burdens we don't need, we feel lighter and can move forward more easily. 16. Don't let others' words define who you are. Story: there was a young elephant that had been chained by its leg in the circus since it was small. Having been chained for so long, it believed it couldn't break free, even though it grew strong over time. Each time it tried to pull the chain, people around would laugh and say it would never be able to break free. One day, a young boy visited the circus, noticed the elephant, and wondered why such a large animal was restrained by a small rope. With the boy's encouragement, the elephant tried pulling hard once more, and this time the rope snapped. The elephant realized that it was the limiting beliefs others had imposed that had held it back. Lesson: don't let others' words hold you back. Your potential is greater than what others think, and sometimes the only limit is your own belief. 17. True courage isn't the absence of fear, but facing your fears. Story: a soldier afraid of heights was assigned a mission to climb a high hill for enemy observation. Each step up filled him with fear, but with responsibility and bravery, he overcame his fear. Once he completed the mission, he realized that courage isn't about having no fear, but about facing and overcoming it for a higher purpose. Lesson: bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to face fear when necessary. When we confront challenges, we find we are far stronger than we imagined. 18. Sometimes silence is the strongest answer. Story: a Zen master was often criticized and insulted by a man in the village. Even though the master had done nothing wrong, he endured the harsh words in silence, never responding. A disciple asked, "Master, why don't you respond to him?" The master calmly replied, "If someone gives me a gift, but I do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The disciple understood that silence is a way to reject negativity without letting it affect oneself. Lesson: sometimes silence is the most powerful response. Words aren't always necessary to reply, and by not reacting, we choose peace and don't let negativity disturb us. 19. If you want to go far, go together. Story: a group of people had to cross a barren desert to reach a promised land. Initially, they split into small groups to travel more easily and conserve resources. But over time, those who traveled alone began to weaken and couldn't continue. Seeing this, they decided to join forces, share water and food, and face the difficulties together. In the end, with the strength of unity, the entire group crossed the desert safely. Lesson: unity is the greatest strength when facing challenges. In life, when we support and share with each other, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. 20. Sometimes, losing something allows us to gain something better. Story: a young woman lost her stable job and went through a difficult time, feeling as though the world had turned its back on her. However, while searching for a new job, she discovered her true passion was interior design, something she had never considered before. She pursued it, honed her skills, and eventually became a well-known designer. Later, she realized that it was the initial loss that gave her the opportunity to find her true passion. Lesson: loss can sometimes be an opportunity to see and pursue something greater. When one door closes, believe that another, better one will open. The valuable lessons in life often lie hidden within the simplest moments and the toughest challenges. If these stories have touched your heart, remember to share that knowledge with those who need it. Don't forget to subscribe to continue receiving more inspirational lessons that help you go further each day.